Welcome back to my channel, Scribes. My name is Pika Lee. I am a writer and filmmaker. This is a mini-sode. One of the most interesting things that happened to me when I first started writing was I gave my cousin one of my scripts to read, and he's an actor, so he's done quite a bit of scene work and has read quite a few scripts. He was reading my very beginner work and he says to me, "Where are the setups and payoffs?" I know a lot of beginners have some trouble with introducing this little detail that is later on going to come back and be used for the greater good of your story, or for the downfall of your story. Basically, it might seem slightly irrelevant, and later when the audience or the reader comes back and notices that detail has helped in some way, or foretold something that would happen, whether it's a twist, a climax, or just something that helps your character along, it becomes super satisfying. I noticed that I actually really start to enjoy a story much more when I notice these little details as setups and payoffs. And you're gonna enjoy them even more as you start to notice them in your own work. And usually you can identify these payoffs when you find this really satisfying moment where you're like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen because X, Y, and Z happened before this moment.
We've done this podcast for 119 episodes, and this story you're telling, it just sounds very familiar.
I have never dated a guy who was in love with his grandma before.
No, babe, I'm talking about when you find a nice, normal guy and you find fault with him. It's I don't know if you actually want to meet somebody.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm back.
Quick question. Is that a blazer you're wearing over your sweatshirt?
Nope, it's a sport coat. I got a hat in the car. Hello, everyone. Ma'am?
Please, call me Lynn.
Will do.
And who are these for?
They're for you.
For me? Yes. Why?
For respect. Oh, that's so sweet. What a loving relationship.
Sorry, everyone.
You safe people.
It is again.
It is so hot in here. I'm gonna get some air.
Prego.
Don't.
What?
Don't. Morgan, ew.
Sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
fine. I have the ick.
I know.
Okay, are you happy?
Yes.
Ugh, I can't believe I ever let him touch me with those giant flower-holding hands.
Ugh, the ick.
Clearly something I did today freaked you out. My money's on the flowers. They were too big.
It
I
wasn't
can see that.
just any one thing.
Sure, okay, listen. I wanted your family to like me, okay? I tried to impress them. That's not as lame as you think it is.
You can have a Chekhov's gun moment where there is a gun in the corner of a room when absolutely no action is happening, and then later on the masked killer is following your young teenager into that same room and she realizes that that gun is still there.
I always carry a gun on stage. Next.
You can't have a gun.
Wrong again! Down you go! And I can have a gun, and I must have a gun. That's the rule of Chekhov's gun. Have a gun. And now it's been seen, I will have to shoot someone before the end of the play. Ah! Chekhov's gun.
In Zombieland, you have the rules stated right at the very beginning, then again later on reused to explain exactly why these rules exist, like the double tap rule.
Am I alive when everyone around me has turned to meat? It's because of my list of rules.
Sometimes these rules are reinforcing your world rules, and sometimes these rules are to help the plot along or to help the story along.
He tried to bite me.
You're right, that's the worst part.
Sorry. Just so scared.
No. You should be scared. A homeless man just tried to eat you. That's the right kind of scared. That's reasonable scared. I get scared for things that don't make sense at all, like clowns with red noses, or the rags they used to wipe down tables. Of course. It had to be a clown. Fuck. No, it had to be a clown. And it had to be Wichita for me to finally understand that some rules are made to be broken.
One way that I learned to put setups and payoffs in my script is to outline. Once I've written the outline and reread it, it's really much simpler to find the spaces where I can add these smaller details that can really amp up the script and kind of foreshadow some of the things that are going to happen. Another great thing that you hear all the time is reading scripts and watching back the show or the movie, or even listening to an audiobook. You're going to start to pick up on some things that actually come back for the character and come into play in a really, really interesting way. By taking notice of those, that is exactly how I learned to incorporate it into my writing. And it did take a while, Finally, some of the best genres for setups and payoffs. Although dramas are really great for this, you're going to see this a lot in horror movies. You're also going to see this a lot in mystery movies and thrillers. Those genres take a lot of setting up to begin with and a lot of unraveling as you go through the story or the plot. Thanks for sticking with me on this one, scribes and creative beings. I will see you on the next one.